ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Well, we want to wish everyone a very happy Baisakhi. And we're here in the presence of our Sri Guru Granth Sahib. And you know, this is a very special time. Baisakhi is the time when we remember that our true father, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, has given us a way of living, a way of life forever. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj created Khalsa at a time when there was great persecution. In 1699, at that time, many of the Sikhs were afraid because of the tyranny that was happening and were afraid for their lives. So they hid, disguised themselves. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji said that wasn't good, that we had to be strong and we had to be a nation. And he brought everyone together on that day at Anandpur Sahib to show that we stand together as a Sangat and that we can have the strength and the courage to stand against anything that happens in our lives, and that we would be together for each other. Just as Guru Nanak Dev Ji taught that all people are created equal under one God, Guru Gobind Singh also created the Khalsa to understand that we're one people, and that everyone, no matter who that person is, no matter what their color, no matter what their gender, their caste, their creed, or their belief, that everyone was created equal. And he showed us on that day that equality. So he brought all the Sangha together at Anandpur Sahib, and he said, who's willing to give their head? And on that day, 5 stood. We didn't know, maybe Guru Gobind Singh Ji would have asked for 10. Sangha didn't know, but on that day he asked for 5. And as we know, those 5 became the Panch Pyari, the beloved ones, that represented that equality, that didn't matter what their caste were, they were all there together. And then he gave them the Amrit to create the first Khalsa. And Khalsa is what? Khalsa are those who stand for truth. Khalsa is those who stand for righteousness. Khalsa are those who have kindness and compassion for everyone. And that's the way that our mind was to be set. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji knew that. And then Guru Gobind Singh Ji did something that was never done in history before. He gave the Amrit to the Panch Pyari, and then he asked the Panch Pyari to give him the Amrit. Don't we sing that Shabad? Vaho Vaho, Guru Gobind Singh, Ape Guru Chela? That the Guru became the student. When in history did that happen? Had never happened in any history. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj would show us that he was one with everyone. He wasn't above, he wasn't below, that everyone was equal. And he proved that in his action. And then he gave us the way to live. He gave us the identity. And he gave us the future so that all of you today will have that future and be proud of that future. He gave us Panch Kakar. And Panch Kakar is not just something that's outside. Panch Kakar lives inside of you. It's the reminder. It's the reminder of who you are and what we represent. So we're here today at Khalsa School. You have such a great opportunity in this life to be at this school to every day come to the presence of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib and feel those blessings. But you have to have a relationship with Sri Guru Granth Sahib, a relationship of understanding, so that you follow it. Someone came to me one day, they said, "Oh, are you part of that Sikh religion?" I said, "No." They said, "You're not?" I said, "No." They said, "But you look like you're part of the Sikh religion. What are you a part of?" I said, "I practice the Sikh way of life." You see the difference? Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave us a way to live, not a blind religion, but a way to live. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji took all that history of all the 9 gurus before, and he gave us something to be solid forever when he created the Khalsa. And you're the product today. You are the living example of that vision and mastery of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And he taught that Khalsa wasn't just, "Oh, look how strong I am." He also taught that Khalsa was very kind and giving to everyone. And he understood what it was that a human being, each of us, could become the best, could become so strong within our own selves. And he gave us those 4, we call them pillars. You see there's a pillar that holds up that wall, right? You see there's 2 of them there, and they hold up that wall, right? If those pillars weren't there, what would happen to that wall? It would fall down. So he gave us 4 pillars, means something that will support us. And those 4 pillars we know were what? One is Bana, second is Bani, third is Seva, and fourth is, we sitting straight? Are we alert? Bana, Bani, Seva, and Simran. Right. And what is Bana? He's wearing beautiful Bana today, the presence of the Guru. So Bana is that which Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave to us, so we'd be distinctive. We wouldn't have to hide. That we would be distinctive. And someone will know that is a Khalsa, and that Khalsa will help me anytime and anywhere. One day I was going shopping, I came with my bags out from the store, and a Canadian lady ran up and she said, "Are you that Khalsa? Are you a Khalsa?" I said, "I think so." She said, "You're a Khalsa." I said, "Okay." She said, "I heard that Khalsa helps everybody." And I said, "Yes, that's true." And she said, "Well, I have this problem, that problem. Will you help me?" Well, I was going to reach in my card, get my pocket, get my business card, call my office, make an appointment. Right? She said, "No, I heard that Khalsa helps everyone now." And she was right. And I put down my bags, and she told me her problems. I said, "God bless you, don't worry about anything." She said, "Thank you." And she went. She didn't know I was Harinam Singh Khalsa. She said, "That's a Khalsa dress. I heard they helped." So Bana is outside of us, right? We wear the Bana. So Bana is outside, right? Then what is Bani? If Bana is outside, then what is Bani? Bani is what is? Inside, right. And why the Bani? Did Guru Gobind Singh Ji give us Panj Baniya to do every day to waste our time? We'll keep them busy. No. He gave us that Bani to keep our mind settled. Because if you look today, and I know all of you know everything about the news programs, everything you read, you're on the internet, you have too much information coming to you. And we see that in this world there's craziness. And people are losing their minds, right? Didn't that man that co-pilot drove that airplane into a mountain? He lost his mind. Right? He lost that faculty of his ability Are we paying attention? I'm using big words. He lost that faculty and that ability to be able to use his mind, and he lost it, and he flew a plane into a mountain. And that's what's happening in this world today, is that many people out there, we read every day the stories, don't we, of the tragedies, the bombings, all that stuff. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji understood this, and he said, if you don't control this mind of yours so you don't lose it, you will lose it. And Bani is that which, when we recite that Bani, that vibration, because Bani, Shabad, as we listen to the Gurmukhi, is a vibration of sound. We call it a technology. And what is that technology of sound in Siddhi Guru Granth? We call the Shabad Guru. Right. That is the science. How many go to science class at school? You all do, right? Well, Shabad Guru is a science of sound and sound vibration. So Bani, when we recite through that sound, calms the mind and keeps the mind straight. And what is seva? Is seva, oh, I'll give you $2 if you do something for me? Is that seva? No. Seva is selfless service, to give, to share, selflessly. You don't ask that something should come back. Okay, I'll do that seva, but you have to promise me you're going to give me this. That's not seva. Seva is that you do, and you don't expect that anything should come back. You're doing it just from your heart and soul to help. Doesn't matter if it's seva here in the Gurdwara, if you're doing seva outside, if you go to a hospital, or if you see someone, an older person perhaps, that's having trouble carrying many grocery bags, you might help that person, right? Where we just do that selflessly. And they remember us for it. One time one boy was talking to me, said, well, I have a job interview and I'm a little afraid. I have my dastar, maybe they'll think something. He was afraid. He said, what should I do? I said, look it. If there's 8 people in that room and you're the only one that has on the dastar, who are they going to remember? They're going to remember you. He said, yeah, that's true. So Guru taught us, don't see a limitation. You know, I was doing business, now I just do this seva, but for many years I was doing business and entertainment and all this stuff and big high level business. And I would talk to the customer, and I'd be wearing my bana, and they'd be corporate big businesses, and I would put in for a contract, and they'd give me the contract, and maybe 5, 6 people are trying to get this contract. And I'd say, why did you choose me? You could have chose somebody else. Why did you choose me? And they said, not only were you professional, not only prices were okay, but they said, if we knew anybody could take the stress, it's you. They trusted because I was calm and relaxed. Because the Bani never stops flowing. And through that seva, that giving, opens the doors for many things in our lives. And what is the Simran? Nam Simran, Nam Japo. To always repeat the name of God. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. In Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib says, this mind of ours is like the tail of a dog. It's never straight. And we can never change it. But Guru says if we meditate, if we do that Simran, that vibration on God's name, the Nam, that this mind of ours can settle down. Are we alert? Yes. Yes? Sitting straight, spine straight, right? So Guru Gobind Singh Ji understood psychology. He understood beyond psychology. He understood, are you ready to hear? He understood the essence of every human being. He understood the very nature of a human being. And he wanted his Khalsa to rise in spirit, and to always keep our spirit strong. That is what he did on Baisakhi. He created Khalsa so that our spirit would be strong. What is Chardi Kala? Does Chardi Kala just mean, oh, I'm happy? No. Chardi Kala means a rising spirit. Chardi Kala means that spirit within me can never be defeated. That is Chardi Kala. That spirit in me can never be defeated. And that is what Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave to us, that spirit inside of us shall never be defeated. And how did he seal it? He sealed it with what? Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Right. That to those whose hearts vibrate Vaheguru, to them all greatness shall be. That's the 50%. The other 50%, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, and victory shall be guaranteed. You understand the power in that? The strength of that? We call that in English, there's a word called grit. Grit means that strength inside of us, that we shall never fail, we shall never fall, and we shall never be defeated. And that is the strength that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj gave to us. And how did we realize that and see it in reality? How many saw that movie of the Sahibzadas, on the 4 Sahibzadas? Most everybody. I didn't have a chance yet. I heard everybody cries at the end. Is that right? That's what I heard. All right, you didn't cry. You're too strong to cry. Right? And how? Because Guru Gobind Singh Ji infused in his sons that spirit that they shall never be defeated and they shall never give up who they are, no matter what the circumstances, to their last breath. Hanji, to their last breath. Right. Guru Gobind Singh Ji's young sons were bricked alive, correct? Yes? Right? Did they give up? No. Do you have that spirit? I'm not sure, right? I bet you with a big chocolate bar I could buy you off. But that's the spirit that we have to learn from. And that to me is the essence of the Baisakhi. That is the essence to me of what Guru Gobind Singh Ji brought to us, to have that rising spirit so we shall never be defeated. And then gave us those 4 pillars, gave us our identity, and said, now go live life. And don't be afraid. And share it with the world. That day that I took that armor, became Amritak, when I did that many years ago, then I learned in my mind, doing that Amrit, that I was no longer me. That now I serve the will of my Guru. And as my Guru wills, so shall I do. It's no longer my life. It's a life to live in the path of the Guru. And walk that path and not be afraid. I came to the feet of the Guru is almost 40 years. Next year will be 40 years then I came to the feet of the Guru. That's more than half my life. In fact, that's 2/3 of my life. And I've never left the feet of the Guru in 40 years. Never shall. And that to me is the spirit. You know, most people look at making resolutions at New Year's, correct? Right? You all know that? So we say New Year's is from January 1st to December 31st. And we see, okay, what did I do in that year? And then I make a resolution, which we never keep anyways, right? But I look at my life from Baisakhi to Baisakhi. I say, from this Baisakhi today, from last year, how was my year? I go by that date. This is my new year. This is the birth of Khalsa. This is my new year.
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.